Good Wednesday morning, and welcome to Ice Age TV. The Internal Combustion Engine Age YouTube channel talks about all my cars and trucks and SUVs, motorcycles, all the adventures of, wow, looky here at the weather. Just a continued beautiful week here in the Northern Virginia area. It's cold, but not radical. Good morning there, Wednesday morning there to all the people that watch my channel and listen to me talk. Appreciate those that do support the channel. Thank you very much. And it's always just me wanting to gab away in the morning, get the day going, and share my ideas and views and thoughts that hopefully radiates with you. That's kind of what I try to accomplish on my YouTube channel and show all my silliness and my addictions of, I'll just tell you the way it is, right? Sometimes it is. But hey, what are we doing today? And get the day going. And I think to myself this morning, Monday, we had the commitment conversation. Thought that was a really good conversation, honoring the veterans of our country that commit themselves to protecting us here and abroad. And then we talked about goals yesterday. And I thought to myself, when you have a commitment in life, when you have goals in life, I think that many here could agree that you experience rejections in life. And I thought to myself, boy, if the reject word isn't so appropriate more than ever in modern times of where the car industry is, wow. Yeah, rejection city, EV city. So let's have our morning conversation here, get the day going on the rejections. And my little mouse traps seem to be working because I have caught the little guys. Got two of them that I've caught. So I don't know if it's just two of them that are creating this problem or what's going on. Hey, let's get you guys in because otherwise things get out of control. So, oh my goodness, it's actually cool out here. I didn't wear my little buff this morning, but get the dogs in. Kiefer boy, he's back in the house. He's a mess. Yeah, that guy's high output like you can't believe. So get the lights on and get the show going, right? Love the Triumph. Love my new Mustang. Just incredible here. If you look at my videos, and if you were to go through the videos this year, from me being in Florida, since January to this year to getting to where we are today, on the collection of vehicles that have populated my driveway, I mean, even for me, I just thought of this right now. It's like, wow. So January this year, I didn't have the Smoke Show. January this year, I didn't have his Triumph. January this year, I didn't have this 5.0 GT. I had two GT500s. January this year, I didn't have this. I didn't have the CVO. I didn't have the Lowrider ST. I didn't have the Jeep Gladiator Mojave. What else? I didn't have the Ford Tremor F250. Let's see, what else did I not have? I didn't have the new Bronco. I mean, I didn't have the, what is over there? Oh, the Plum Crazy. I didn't have the two Jeeps up front. So, wow, just since January of this year, you just saw, and then I've got motorcycles in the trailers, CVO Road Glide, an Indian Chief Bobber, a Honda Goldwing, a Honda Fury, Honda CB650R, a CT 125 trail bike. I mean, I can't even remember all the bikes are in these trailers right now. Yeah, I mean, the guy can go take one, you wouldn't know, right? Yeah, I wouldn't know. Didn't have the KTM, so wow. That just popped out of the blue for the conversation. Oh, and the Indian Pursuit that's sitting down there at the Indian dealer has been rejected by me, is down there as well. So, wow, how many vehicles did I just count that I've bought just this year? Right? I mean, good Lord, it just doesn't stop, does it? Oh, yeah. So I thought, yes, the rejection, as you know, so many here that have gone through the hard knocks of life. And as you progress in life, if you don't get that, then you haven't been living life. Because if you're an individual that takes on challenges, commitments, goals, you know what's going to happen? You're going to get rejected. Oh, this is what I got to show you. This is what I put on my Loud Pipe Save Lives exhaust tips for my Plum Crazy. That's from my Dodge Charger Plum Crazy. It went from 4-inch to 5-inch exhaust. What do you think of that idea? That was challenging to get those things to mount up there. but I polished them up last night. Wouldn't it be so cool if I could pipe in some music and I could push a button below and it would have the Dodge Charger or the Hellcat, sound to it? Oh, you're getting silly now. Yeah, come on. Isn't life out having fun? Being silly as we walk out here to the rejections. Okay, so for me, we realize or not, you have no idea how many times I won the F-250 Tremor package. And I was actually on the gasoline side there for a long time because I had the that new big motor. Can't even think of the name of the damn thing right now, but I was all on the V8 side because I got an F-350 back in 2020, like March of 2020, and I was just thinking that was the baddest ass freaking. Oh, you know what's missing? The F-150 Tremor or the F-150 Power Boost. That's over at the dealership. There's another vehicle. Oh my gosh, the reason I'm bringing that up, that F-150 Power Boost woke my eyes up to the fact that my F-350 gas motor, it didn't pull as good as my F-150 Power Boost did. I was blown away. And that's why it made me want an F-250 diesel, but I was really wanting an F-250 Tremor gas setup and the Godzilla motor. Finally figured it out. Godzilla motor, you have no idea how many times I was rejected to buying that truck. Yes, in 2021, I was trying to buy that truck. In 2022, I was trying to buy that truck. I mean, and I did actually eventually get a 2022, I believe, F-250 Tremor truck, which I kept for a while, and then I sold it. But never realized that I'd come full circle again back to F-250. Over here is the Dodge Plum Crazy. Look at this exhaust tips. This thing's just so nice. I mean, come on. That is just so nice. Where's this exhaust tips? And there it lies. I think this is just a perfect example of the rejection of the electric vehicles. I would say for the motorheads, right there, there's the bottom line. When a person walks up to this vehicle, where's the exhaust? Hey, turned on. There's nothing there. There's the number one rejection of these EV vehicles for the motorheads, the ICE heads. So that's just the first thing that gets rejected. Is I want some noise. That's what you hear. Same thing here with the F-150 Lightning truck. Look at the F-250. It's the diesel, so it doesn't have a real big, noise to it. But here's the thing. More than ever, it's now being disclosed that these Lightning, or I should say these electric vehicles, are being rejected. It's incredible on how, it's factual. There's so many YouTube videos out there that people just spend the whole time dissing on the Ford F-150 Lightning and the Ford Mustang Mach-E, how Ford has made a huge mistake of committing all their monies and resources in so many aspects to the EV trends that aren't the growing trends. It's the rejection trend. And there's so many reasons why. It's the excuses. I had the excuses conversations last week, and for the big three, especially for Jim Farley, he can sit here and make excuses all day long about why people are buying these things. Number one, these things are very expensive. So what is going on in the EV market is a direct reflection, I think, of so many here that watch my channel that see so clearly that we have a sitting administration, the most controlling, dominant sitting administration ever in modern times, that's trying to force you to go do things that you don't want to do, and you're saying, I reject that idea. It's going on. The General Media Machine talks about it in some ways, but they never really want to so-called address the real problem, and that is the green agenda activists have gotten so intertwined in the governing bodies of this world and country, and the boardrooms, I've talked about it numerous times, the green agenda addicts have gotten so heavy into this infrastructure of our country that they're forcing things onto people that are rejecting their views and ideas, and that's just the reality. You can make excuses all day long of why people don't want to buy EV vehicles because of the charging stations, because of the range, because of this, because of that, because of the price. I think if somebody wants something bad enough, they're going to go out of their way to go get it. And in today's wealth of this society and country, I'm just not buying into it. I think more and more people are just really like, what do I really gain? What do I really gain buying an electric vehicle? Sincerely, what do you gain? That car there is basically about a $70,000 car. I'm not embellishing here. Sincerely, if you went to the dealership today, would you buy this electric vehicle or would you buy the Dodge Super Bee? In so many ways, basically the same price, within reason. Which one would you buy? I can guarantee you, majority of people watching my channel are going to say, I'm going to buy that Dodge Super Bee all day long. That thing there, I'm going to kick that thing to the curb. So I'm not buying into it's all about the money, because I think a lot of people can afford this stuff. I think it's more about all the reality of what do you gain by buying this electric vehicle, sincerely. And some people say, why don't I go to the gas station? There you go. Okay, so it's about you saving money going to the gas station. That's all it's about. Is that really? Why wouldn't you ride a bicycle? Why wouldn't you buy a motorcycle? I mean, why wouldn't you buy something other than this vehicle? Why wouldn't you relocate to your work and take the metro to wherever you go? Because these things are an example of our freedom. That's why this is being so rejected, is so many people feel that the governing bodies and the green agenda people are telling you how to live your life, and that we don't want to hear it. Because for us, anybody that's a young person that finally gets to be able to buy their own car, their first car, is that an incredible step in your own financial freedom, that you now have the capability to go get in a car and drive wherever you want to a degree? That's huge. And that's what it's all about. We like the freedom of owning these vehicles to be able to enjoy what we want to do, not be told what to do. Because here's the thing, this electric vehicle, I have many videos of these EV vehicles. I have a great video of the F-150 Lightning truck trying to tow this really small. I mean, look, I've got a 28-foot trailer there, 24-foot trailer there. This is just a 14-foot trailer, 7x14 trailer, that this F-150 Lightning truck struggled to get anywhere in it, because it would just consume all of its energy. Where you can basically go 50 to 80 miles before you have to recharge. Even though you get about 100-mile range, there's not a battery charging station every 10 miles as you go up the highway. So you have to structure it where you're getting off every 50 to 80 miles to make sure you can recharge your vehicle. I have a whole video of my first F-150 Lightning vehicle towing this trailer back from Tennessee, because I had my F-250 Tremor truck, my other F-250 Tremor truck, in Tennessee with that trailer, and I drove down my F-150 Lightning truck for the towing adventure to come back home. It's a great video going down and a great video coming back, because you see the aggravation I went through just driving down with no trailer and finding reliable charging stations and be able to recharge my truck was an incredible challenge. And that's actually a whole discussion today in the Wall Street Journal by Joanna Stern, that went to LA and rode around a Rivian truck and rode around to all the different charging stations just to see if it's true that you get rejected at some of these charging stations because of the vehicle, when you pull up, doesn't interface with the charging station, or the charging station's out of service, or the credit card processing doesn't work right, or the vehicle just doesn't communicate with the charging station, doesn't work. And it's about a 25% failure rate. And you got to keep in mind, in LA, California, there's a lot of charging stations. I can imagine the number would actually be a little higher here, because it's not the same infrastructure and it's so much more spread out. Just my limited time of using these charging stations, I was exposed to them. But here's the thing. Once you're traveling, and this is what's really incredible in this Wall Street Journal article, people comment, it's like, you never told us what you paid per kilowatt. So she never even explained to you, when you're out on the road, driving down the road in these electric vehicles, you don't save on the gas money. I can tell you factually that I have a whole video about me driving F-150 Lightning. It was the blue silver F-150 Lightning, pulling this trailer. There's no way you're going to get further and less expensive than using a diesel vehicle. You'll spend more money on the Lightning truck recharging your battery. Even if you're not charging, or I should say, excuse me, even if you're not pulling this trailer right here, you're still paying more in so many ways to go the same distance as this truck right here. Meaning, out in the field, man, my voice is really cracking up this morning. Sorry about that. But even here for this truck, you can be anywhere from 35 cents to 53 cents a kilowatt to recharge your vehicle. So this vehicle here, if you're going to go, this vehicle's going to go about 250 miles, and you're going to burn up a good 100 kilowatts of energy. Well, that's like $53. All right. You're going to go in this truck here about 250 miles, And in so many ways, this truck's going to probably burn up, I'm going to say, about maybe 12 gallons of fuel, 14 gallons of fuel. You're going to be about the same in the price of driving down the road as that diesel truck. So it's not like by taking this F-150 Lightning truck on a road trip, I'm going to save myself all this money on fuel, or energy, I should say. You don't. You don't. And I think that's what's going on more than ever. People are coming to realize that they're rejecting these vehicles because it's a limited application. And I haven't talked about that yesterday in my video. And the goals is, what is your goal? Why would you buy this vehicle? What's the deal? I mean, what do you plan on doing with it? If you're going to be going on long road trips and towing with it, this is not the vehicle you buy. So what's your goal? I mean, is your goal you think you're saving the planet? You're not. You're not saving the planet on using these vehicles, because you have to drive them a lot of miles before they become net zero carbon footprint. So I say that more than ever, we're witnessing the biggest rejection of the automotive industry in our lifetime. I think so many people here that, especially my age, would have to agree that the auto industry is trying to revamp the way you get around, and people are rejecting it for so many reasons. Wow. All right, let's get back here in the shop. Here's what's interesting. I was doing a whole reading in depth about these Challengers and Charger red eyes, the Demon 170. And, you know, it's incredible how the Demon 170, this is factual. You would be better off going to the Meckham auction to find a Demon 170, because you're going to pay less money. Did you just hear me? If you go to the Meckham auction, the odds are you're going to pay less money for a Dodge Challenger. Keep in mind, a Demon 170 is a Dodge Challenger with the alcohol, E85 capability to run the car, and badass car. You know, the most horsepower, fastest production Dodge product to date. And yes, so at the Meckham auction, they have already sold one for $210,000. It was a red toured red one, and they sold a black one for like $225,000. Meanwhile, the greedy ass Dodge dealers, I mean, will anybody's hearts be bleeding next year for the Dodge dealers when they don't have this stuff anymore, and they've got a Dodge Hornet sitting in the showroom, and you'd be like, oh, you know, I remember when you guys were jacking prices on all these cars in the heyday, and when I wanted to buy one, it was out of my price range, but now they're all gone, and you're trying to sell me a Dodge Durango or a Dodge minivan, Chrysler minivan, or you're trying to sell me a Dodge Hornet that looks like a frickin' RAV4. Boy, I'm really excited for you. The whole point is the local Dodge dealers are getting $200,000 and more over on the price of the Dodge Demon 170. So if you went to the Meckham auto auction and you were bidding for that 170 and you got it for $210,000, you outdid most people that are going to these dealerships, and you're paying them the most stupidest, ridiculous price in the world. Be unbelievable. I don't know what these people are thinking. Do you really believe that a Dodge Demon 170 is going to be worth $500,000, $400,000? People that pay $200,000 over are at a $350,000 car. There's people who are paying $250,000 and $300,000 over. Yes. There's people who paid $400,000 for these Dodge Demon 170s. I mean, and what's so incredible too is if you took a Dodge Super Stock and you got that 170 crate motor that's coming out next year and threw it in the frickin' car, you got every bit of what a Dodge Demon 170 is. I mean, beyond believable. Yes, the Super Stock in so many ways is the Dodge Demon 170 because it's set up for the track, like the real Demon setup. It's a sleeper car that most people don't even really understand what it is. The Super Stock has a different suspension in it, and it's designed to go to the track. So buy a nice Super Stock, buy a crate motor, and show up to the track and show the 170 guy that, hey, you know, I've gotten to my car about $140, $150, and this thing's just badass. And the guy next to you, he's at $350, $400 in it. He's probably not racing it. That guy's gonna just park it. But here's what spurred this conversation is. Right now, in the market's still a little soft because these cars, this is what one of my viewers say, hey, I saw a Dodge the exact same car as yours go across the lot for like $70,000 or something like that. And I was like, yeah, but is it a red eye? See, here's the catch. If it's not the red eye, then I agree. The regular Hellcats are not the sought after car at this time. And as time progresses, the Dodge Hellcat Red Eye, aka it's the demon motor in this car. I have both of the Challenger and Charger demon motors in both these cars. And these will be the more sought after unique package because it's the 800 plus horsepower factory car. So I can believe that a regular Hellcat non-red eye will be low on price. I can also believe it's a narrow body, it'll even be lower on price. But anyways, right now, believe it or not, the highest price per se in the red eye package has been the Dodge Charger. A Dodge King Daytona apparently sold for like $175,000. It's brand new, but who would believe that the Dodge Charger would fetch more money than the Dodge Challenger red eye package? That's just hard for me to believe because the Dodge Challenger is so much more sought after. So people in some ways are rejecting the Hellcats right now. In so many ways, people just aren't stepping up to the plate. People are rejecting the Dodge Challenger Scat Packs, and you're just seeing video after video of so many people showing videos of dealerships that have a massive amount of inventory of so-called these Scat Pack Challengers. Coons Tyson's Dodge, they take the win of anybody. When you go on cars.com in my area and you look for these Dodge Challengers, the Hellcats and the wide bodies, Coons Dodge has a gazillion of them. Coons Dodge out of Tyson's Corner, Virginia, has so many of these cars. They always have. They order just a gazillion of them, but keep in mind, these orders are at the end of the day, so whatever's coming in, that's it. And what's very interesting to me is a lot of people are looking at these cars, and they're in my channel are saying, well, these things really aren't investments. This car here, I wouldn't look at this as an investment. I think this car here, yes, it's an investment. I just feel so strongly. This is a $150,000, potentially $200,000 car. They're not a dime a dozen. I mean, there's not a dime a dozen red eye Challengers and Charger wide bodies out there in the market. They're out there, but it's not a gazillion of them. Yeah, this will hold its value. There's no doubt in my mind, since we bought it used, this car will always have great value because we've already taken the hit, meaning the guy ahead of us. We're the fourth owner. Get this car's been owned 4 times now. The third and fourth owner is me. I bought back the car again because the kid bought it back in our reality. So, we go back here to the motorcycles. What's going on with Indian? It's interesting. I've left my Indian motorcycle up on Marketplace and Facebook, and I've got people kind of biting on it. And I got it for sale for $36,999, and I got a guy that sounds like he may take this bike. So I may just let it go. I just may let the Indian product go. I don't know. Still debatable on that. Still haven't heard from Indian, and as I said, I'm going to give him till tomorrow, and then I'm going to give him a call and see what their position is. Have they rejected my position of me wanting them to buy back my car? I mean, in so many ways, I'll be amazed if that's probably not the story, that their position will be, we've rejected your concern of your well-being on that Indian motorcycle. We're not as concerned as you are, but you don't ride it. So, all right, let's get up here, get up to the office, get the day going, and keep the rejection conversations going. It's so interesting how the federal government is supposed to be shutting down. Did it shut down? Not so much. What's the deal with this guy, Mike Johnson? Does this make any sense to anybody here that's staying abreast of the political times? Where is Scouty? I guess, Scouty wasn't feeling well. Oh, there he is right there. He's been kind of not feeling well. It's kind of too bad. So, I bought some more cars. Bought a GT500, bought a Mach 1, and I bought a Bronco. How about that? Can you even see those? Those are at Costco. And these things are so cool. I love these. Bring them out every year, right before Christmas. Look at this Mach 1. Who would love to have this? Wow. All right. And then just the Bronco. Nothing really that special. But yeah, I got my collection of cars growing. I've got more cars in my driveway than I do have replicas. Do you believe that? Who would tell that story? I mean, you got more cars in your driveway than actual replicas? Probably. Yeah, even motorcycles as well. Yeah, I wanted to play with the real thing. I didn't want the toy. I wanted the real thing. Hey there, well, it's kind of cold. Gotta get some heat going on in here to get the day going. And so anyways, the kind of keep it on rejection before you get to political talk here. It's interesting on how my Indian forum, so many people reach out to the Indian forum, and they're continuing. You get the excuses. You get people on there, well, I've had many bikes over my life, and as the tires start to wear, I notice my front end starts to kind of wobble and shimmy. I'm thinking, how does this make any sense? You're telling a guy it's a brand new Indian Pursuit, and you're comparing your issue with a used older bike with crappy old tires on it? Come on, Wilkin, I'm not with you. Come on, my dog's right in my face. And so, that really makes any sense? To be comparing my brand new motorcycle with. I mean, and to me, it's like, do you work for an Indian dealer? I mean, so many times I think people are somebody, that works for Indian dealer. And the concern is that they know that by me publicly speaking aloud about this challenge of Pursuit, that in so many ways, if you're an Indian dealer, you don't want to hear this stuff. Because you get these Pursuits sitting on your floor, and as the word gets around, people are like, I've heard these things have issues. If you own an Indian Pursuit, the word gets out more and more. Do you think somebody's going to really be excited about taking that thing on trade? Because the dealer's most likely going to say, hey, man, for the record, we know these things have issues, and, I'm just going to ship it off the auction, so I just can't give you much money. I mean, this is the underlying message. People, it's so unfortunate, we know as humans, there's always an agenda behind the comment or what it's, going on to a degree. And that's why I was talking here just a second ago about this guy, Mike Johnson. Does it make any sense to you witnessing Kevin McCarthy? So Matt Gaetz instigates the removal of the first time of a House Speaker, Kevin McCarthy, to eventually be replaced by a guy by the name of Mike Johnson, who's a very conservative, very Bible, Christian-oriented individual that here just is basically laid down to the liberal Democratic Party. Yeah, he created a two-bill passage for the no-stop funding of the federal government until like January 18th. And so yesterday they had their the bills brought to the table, to the floor, and both parties came to resolution to sign the bills to keep the government funded through January of next year. So, what's going on? I mean, it is, and that's what I was thinking about myself this morning with the new, with everybody being replaced and all the, my dog's freaking out. I don't know what's going on. My one dog here, I don't know what he's doing. It's weird what he's doing. So if you see me kind of looking around, it's like, what are you doing? So anyways, is he waiting for the new House of Representatives to show up, meaning the senators in Congress? Because we had these state elections. Is he strategizing behind the scenes that there's certain states that he knows he's going to get more power out of these senators in Congress? Because remember, in January, the new sitting administration, or the new sitting powers to be in your state, will be brought in to replace the ones who didn't get the vote and lost the seat, or whatever it may be. So is that his strategy that's not really being talked about, that he knows he'll have a better chance in January to hash out his more conservative views and ideas of what, the Republican people would like to see? Or is he just going to be a butterfly House Speaker that just, floats with the wind, floats with the air? So very interesting. Just makes no sense. I was even telling, I was saying here just the other week ago, I don't think the federal government's going to shut down. I don't see it. I don't think this guy's going to have the brass to bring it to the table. But also they say if they did go that route, you would be the total holiday destroyer. So they're saying that if they couldn't come to terms on the next funding for the federal government, what bills will get favored, what won't, they're saying it could be a total holiday, ruined because you're now into Thanksgiving holiday, and if it dragged on, it could go into the Christmas holiday. So you'd be the Grinch. Yeah, wow. So the rejection of what we see in front of us, which is happening big time, the rejection being, and we just spent the whole time out in the driveway talking about the electric vehicle market. But here's what's very interesting that I don't think people are talking about. I mean, it's just so befuddling and how we have powers to be in this country that are, they're pounding their chest, that they're doing all this great stuff and doing that. And you have so many people that will get on X and just rah, 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 shish kumbah for Joe Biden, best damn guy I've ever been alive, best damn guy who's ever done anything for the country, best damn guy, it's a military, strongest one we could ever have. I mean, you just read this stuff, and it's all the agendas. And what's interesting is the Joe Biden IRA, Inflation Reduction Act, is all about the green agenda, all about infrastructure here. And what people, I don't think, step back and understand, I've talked about it a few times. BYD, Build Your Dream, Berkshire Hathaway's investment from Warren Buffett, huge successful electric vehicle manufacturer out of China. And they're growing by leaps and bounds. I mean, they're going to be a dominant player in the world as time progresses. And I've talked about how Donald Trump was going after China for their tariffs. He didn't feel they were fair to us, and we tried to ship stuff over there, extremely high tariffs. So Donald Trump threw it in their face, and he threw it back where they're going to pay high tariffs to us to bring their stuff here. And for the record, XI and Joe Biden and Gavin Newsom were all hanging out in Chinatown, yes, actually Chinatown in San Francisco, for the big get-together to strategize on the future of relationships and what they're going to do for each other. And Build Your Dream out of China, it's not in our market. And if it ever did come to our market, I think it would totally circumvent the UAW. I think it would totally circumvent the Big Three's commitment to this EV future. And I'm sure that's why the Big Three are so concerned, that they know the what if could come one day if the Chinese tariffs were ever lowered. It would be a huge slap in the face for the Big Three to be able to compete against BYD. And the reason BYD is so successful is because they have their own in-house battery pack manufacturing. In some ways, Tesla has the same thing going with them in Las Vegas with the Panasonic. Panasonic and Elon Musk, Tesla, buddied up together in Las Vegas and have a huge battery manufacturing factory. So that kind of helps Elon Musk keep the cost down. So the Big Three don't have that. The Big Three, where do you think the Big Three are getting their battery packs? From China. China, I've talked about this so much in great length in so many videos of all the battery technology, what's the future of the battery technology, the different lithium, cobalt, nickel, lithium iron phosphate. I mean, the list goes on and on. If you watch my videos, you know these conversations. And there's tons of these conversations. You can always backtrack to hear me talking about the battery infrastructure, what's going on. But here's the thing. China controls the pricing and the power of the battery packs. Do you think China is giving any favoritism to the domestic side vehicle market for less expensive battery packs? Hey, do you wonder why these cars are so expensive? The number one thing you'll always will hear, it's the battery that's so expensive that creates the electric vehicle not to be affordable to so many people. Well, China has control of all that. Is anybody figuring this stuff out? I mean, it's just beyond believable of what goes on in today's society, of the, beyond the blind leading the blind and the blind following the blind is beyond believable. So, and once again, for Joe Biden, in all sincereness, the worst thing that could ever happen is for China to show up with BYD in our country, because they're going to bring people the price point car that's going to totally just destroy the manufacturing side of our own country. I mean, somebody like, oh, that's radical. How can it be radical when you were witnessing the UAW? I was correct. The UAW, GM has a challenge. The UAW on GM side is not agreeing to this new Sean Fain contract. The word is that the UAWs were presented a 40% pay increase, 4-day work week, better benefits, better vacation time, and blah, 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 blah. And that didn't actually happen. So they're pissed off. So they're not signing the contract. Yes, if you're listening right now, the UAW has not actually finalized this union deal with General Motors. Ford and Stellantis, for the most part, looks like majority of the members are going to sign off on it, but they still haven't signed it. And now you have to say, if they start getting word that now GM starts pushing it even further, where it starts getting closer to what Sean Fain was bragging about, and then they pull back, we're back into a whole other union strike. Oh my gosh. So for Sean Fain pounding his chest about how great a job he did, union members are saying you didn't complete the task because you told me I get a 40% pay increase. And you told me I'm only working 4 days a week. Wow. Wouldn't that be something if all of a sudden all these union people said, yeah, wait a second. Sean Fain was telling us, and he took it from 7%, 10%, 12%, 17%. He got us to 25%. Why the heck can't he get it to 40%, right? I mean, does this all play out? Right during the holidays, too. I bet the best thing could happen. I don't get it. There's so many cars in the market right now. The dealerships are flooded with vehicles. I mean, in so many ways, if I was the big three guy, I'd be like, in some ways, we're just better off idling plants for a while. We are going to have to start giving cars away again, especially these electric vehicles, because everybody's rejecting them. How are they going to handle? So, I mean, it's always about the price. I can pretty much assure you that once Ford decides to start giving away all these cars, and you can buy one for $20,000, $30,000 off. And here's what's not comforting. The Ford F-150 Lightning, which I have, the 131 kilowatt or 134 kilowatt, whatever it is, battery pack, that's the 320-mile range. Ford has just announced they have a 2024 new F-150 model will automatically have that battery pack in it. And in so many ways, it's going to be probably $18,000, so it's $20,000 cheaper than what I own. So the value of my F-150 Lightning truck is just taking a huge hit. Yeah, I'd have to say right now, my Lightning truck's probably going to come in at maybe a $50,000 value, which it was, like 88, close to $90,000. So the depreciation on F-150 truck, talk about rejection. Talk about me going to the dealership. I mean, who hasn't been rejected? And that was the thought process this morning is, who here hasn't gone to the car dealership? Do you know how many times I've gone to a car dealership and I've been rejected of the loan? I mean, oh my gosh. You know how many inquiries I have in my credit score? I had a guy yesterday reach out and said, hey, one good conversation would be the monthly payments. And I'm like, yeah. Do I want to discuss the monthly payments on these cars? Not really. I was like, I just kind of get a little too personal, too detailed. Yeah, am I going to be looked at the most craziest individual in the world, start talking about all these car payments? Yeah, this is huge stuff. I mean, this is not cheap. It's very challenging. For me, I've told you many times, I'm just crazy. That's why I started the channel, because just people that I know are like, you need just to start a channel just to show people how crazy you are. Yeah, there you go. I did. I even though I was so resistant to do it because, what's the driving addictions? It's the addictions, Yeah, but going back to being rejected, you know how many car deals I've been rejected on? Do you know how many banks have pulled my credit report and looked at deals and rejected the deals? It's huge. If I don't have relationships with certain people, the deals don't get done. In so many aspects, I've even felt like, it's better off the deal doesn't get done, and then all of a sudden it does get done. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't even believe they bought that deal. Yeah, right. And many here, I'm sure, are witnessing now more than ever. You do go to the car dealership, and you probably do get approved, but then you reject the terms. They come back with a 9, 10, 11, 12% interest, 14, 18, whatever it may be. And you're like, and they want a ton of money down. You're probably like, yeah, no way. I'm rejecting that deal. And I think that's what's going on more than ever in these car dealerships is people do get approved, but it's on conditions. It's like if you put $5,000 down, then you get the deal. Or your car is so upside down, you have to buy out that negative equity to be able to buy the car. I mean, that's huge right now. Because what's happened to the banks, besides their loans that they have written to people, have been rejected. I mean, so many people. There's videos out there that say there's going to be a bill strike And so at first you'll think, well, this is the political parties that are going to have a bill. No, the person is saying that people are stop paying their bills. Can you even imagine? So people are stop paying their bills just to totally, deteriorate the banking infrastructure and financial infrastructure. I mean, there's so many videos out there of people just focus on the negativity of the negativity. I mean, it's just incredible. And how the dire straits are right here. There's a guy that, populated on my, video. When you go to YouTube, start looking around, there's another guy like out of California, and this is a whole different guy, and he's just showing all the index of all the numbers and everything. And so he's showing the people that are letting go of their cars. That's huge. People that can't sell their houses. That's huge. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And so basically, I guess it's telling so many people that the rejection of all time is on our doorstep, or is it? I mean, you just hear these stories all the time. The dire straits. Anyways, I think I'm going to kind of wrap it up with that. And the 392 Wrangler still hasn't come in. Haven't got a call from my sales guy to go check that out and do a video. I mean, I should really want to drive that 392 just to really see. Here's the danger. For me, the danger is I go drive the 392 and all of a sudden I'm like, wow, this thing is something I never realized it really was. And this thing's so fun, much more fun than my Bronco. That's the danger. And that's like my good friend Brent. He has offered me to drive his beautiful Z06 blue. What the heck is the name of that blue for Chevrolet? I can't think of the name. Anyways, watch the channel. It looks like the Ford Grabber blue, but they don't call it that on the Chevy side. And Performance blue? No, I just can't remember. But the whole point is, he has offered me numerous times to go drive his Z06 Corvette. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it because I'm going to want one. I'm like, no. I mean, you have no idea. He's laughing at me because he's like, look, man, I have no problem you taking my car up the road and go have a little, free-spirited fun. I'm like, I'm like, no, because I already know where she's going to go. Then I'm going to walk away from that car, want one of those, and then I'm going to be on a mission then to go try to find and buy one. But there's too much money. There's so much money. That car here in Loudoun County, Virginia, it's personal property tax. I'm not embellishing here. That car is going to be $7 to $10 grand a year on personal property tax. That Ford Mustang Mach-E I just showed you, that car is close to $3,000 a year to sit in my driveway for a personal property tax. Somebody like, oh, bull crap. Okay, it's $2,700 a year. Yeah. Well, how much money do you have to make to pay a $2,700 bill? I mean, I don't get it. That's why it's just to me, it's like, okay, so when you're getting a $3,000 bill, you're telling me you go to work today, and at the end of the week, your paycheck is gross? They don't take taxes out? That you're getting all paid on gross and you don't pay any taxes? That's how it works? No. You're going to have to make like $4,000 to get a $3,000 check. Yeah. Yeah, so that's one reason I've never have been on the page of owning these very high, inexpensive cars. I mean, it's just really, it's a lot of money tied up in one thing. I'd rather have a lot of cars instead of just a stuck few. And one of my sales guys just wanted me to buddy up with some other guy, Kevin something out of California or something like that owns a Demon. He has his own YouTube channel, and he's got like 175,000 subscribers. And he's thinking I should buddy up with this guy because this guy's advertising his YouTube channel. He wants to interact with another YouTube guy that's got a lot of, rare or neat cars and business-minded and blah, blah, blah. And I'm telling my sales guy, it's like, you actually think I have a lot of rare, unique cars? I'm like, I don't see that. I don't see that how I had the Jay Leno collection of cars. I mean, I think that there's a ton of people out there that own Dodge Challenger Scat Packs. I think there's a lot of people that own Dodge Challenger Hellcats. I think there's a lot of people that own Ford Broncos and Raptors. I mean, I just don't see that as a unique collection that would draw somebody to be coming to my garage and saying, wow, that's a 1963 split window Corvette with 1,000 miles on it, right? I mean, wow. So anyways, that's it. Leave it at that. Too long. I talk a lot. Can you tell? I talk a lot. So I appreciate all the support. Share the channel. And, we've gone from the, what have we gone from this week? The goals, right? Commitment. So commitment on Monday, goals on Tuesday, and Wednesday is all about rejection. And what are we going to for tomorrow? What will be the conversation tomorrow? Somebody like R. Sanchez that watched my channel will throw out some Silly idea, probably. What happened to Army Retired? Here's a guy that was, really was on my channel. It's weird. He kind of like populates and then doesn't populate. So he thought I was like deliberately ignoring his messages. I don't know. I'm not the smartest guy in the world on my YouTube channel. I mean, I just see people post messages, and that's all I see. If there's other messages populated somewhere else, I have no idea how to find those. I really don't. I thought I was seeing most of the messages. Maybe I'm oblivious to my own freaking YouTube channel, right? Yeah, have I been rejected? YouTube's rejecting me? Yeah, they just about have a few times. Hey, God bless, stay safe, have a great day. Stay tuned.